Good evening, team. We are live. And I would say this is Core Confessionals, but doing something a little different in that it is the holiday week. Obviously, there's been some things happening this week, so I didn't even bother booking anybody this week, and I really wasn't anticipating streaming. But thought I'd try something a little different, keep the old algorithm happy, and see who pops in. I threw the StreamYard link into a couple group chats. So we might get some strangers blowing in from holiday festivities. But yeah, I'm just hunkered down and afraid to go outside because if it's something that I have learned the past couple days is everybody is catching the new fucking space AIDS that's going around, and everybody is fucking open air coughing like a toddler just everywhere. I was in Kroger today, and it was like a horror movie. I'm just trying to I hate grocery shopping as is, and I tried to rip a couple blinkers and then put my headphones in and just kind of fly through. But just grown ass adults just just anywhere now. Self-awareness just does not exist. And fun fact about your boy, I am a former severe hypochondriac. When I was a kid, I was really, really, really paranoid because when I was 8, I was hit by a car, and really it was a very 90s sequence where just sort of how it went down. I really wouldn't see it flying that way today. Borderline maybe some not so legal things, but I was hit by a car because I was walking home from school and I really had to pee, and I was not being very mindful, and I did not look both ways, and I ran across the street and got clocked, and just some stranger, rather than 911 being called and an ambulance or somebody checking me out. I just a strange person that was there and saw me get hit just was like, let me take you home. And so I hopped in a strange lady's car, and after I was hit by a truck. It was a pickup truck, white pickup truck, and she took me back home, and then my parents weren't even home yet. And then hours later, a police officer came by because the lady fucking sold me out and told her, yeah, some kid got hit by a car, and this is where I dropped him off. This is where I disposed of the body, so to speak. And a police officer shows up, and my dad answers the door, and they're having a conversation, and the officer was adamant to talk to me and get my side of it rather than go through my dad. Which, again, side note, insane that I was literally hit by a car and I'm not getting checked out by a professional. I definitely had a concussion at least. I was pretty scraped up too. But I mean, it was the 90s. Who wasn't breaking something, and just rubbing dirt on it. But the police officer was adamant, on talking to me, and he kept asking me like dire questions and was sort of like, just asking just like basic, like, are you having tunnel vision? I'm 8. I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And I'm just giving like rule, and I'm also just terribly autistic and anxious already. And, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. And the police officer is literally in my face going, you need to tell me because I don't want you to go back inside, fall asleep, and die. And from that day, this is a very this is a very long, rounded explanation as to why I became a hypochondriac, because every weird pain, sniffle, um, you know, uh, insane sounding disease that was on the news, some new Ebola virus or whatever, I was like super convinced that I would have it. And so I've gotten a lot better since then. I definitely drove my dad absolutely insane. Because I would be a husky little kid and breathe weird, and I'd be like, I'm dying, and my and force my dad to take me to like uh any any possible doctor's appointment to validate that I wasn't going to die. Um, so there's a little bit of that 8-year-old me just that just kind of hangs in the back. Whenever I'm going to Kroger and um just having giant toddlers open air coughing like insane kindergartners. That being said, um, shout out Kroger, Big K citrus drop, because I am on the quest of finding a replacement uh, drink. So, if anyone has ever heard of the brand Ghost Energy, a long while ago, I know there's a couple people that end up watching this or are chilling and watching now that have unfortunately been on the other side of this rant a million times, and they're like, "Oh Jesus Christ, it's the ghost thing again." But it really chapped my ass. So Ghost had a flavor, and it was citrus. Just it was citrus, and it was the perfect citrus flavor, zero sugar energy drink that um, I genuinely fucked with. Because I'm a sensitive little baby, and energy drinks are usually not my forte. And I also have like um, insane uh, ADHD, and because of that, um, energy drinks just like do nothing usually. Just turn me into a vibrating skeleton. But a couple years ago, I tried to make a real big push to not uh, drink as much sugar or have as much soda overall, but I also needed caffeine to survive. So this citrus ghost was my was my crack. And long story short, you know, in the grand age of late stage capitalism, where everything is just fucking insane, corporations do corporation things, and apparently, uh, two brands kind of had a weird divorce at Ghost Incorporated, and the one branding part of that, one of the split companies, um, discontinued citrus and left me with all these uh, insane wares of white trash alchemy as equivalents, and I was devastated. And so I've been on the search for anything citrus to be like caffeine methadone or something. And the closest thing that I have found that has any semblance to that former glory was at a random truck stop called Big Daddy's near Blissfield, Michigan. And they had an energy drink in there called Gorilla Mind. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up. Because what are we even doing? Y'all just want to sit here and watch me fucking gab? Nobody wants that. So let me do some research here. Let's put in Gorilla Mind. Because I genuinely have not done any research onto this thing. All right, what's Mike saying here? I drink the Aldi energy drinks, the Gridlock ones. They have 0 sugar and they're like $1.29 a can. Oh man. Aldi is based, and you may have sold me the question, Michael, if I should dare ask, is do they have a citrus flavor? That's the equivalent that I'm looking for. And if it's $1.29 per can, oh my fucking god. Drew Huntley, the GOAT, my boy. How we doing? What is the beer count? How much Coors do we got? Who we got here? Robbie's third cousin. Hey, we got some Carter Boys / Corn Fed / Robbie and or Dalton adjacent podcast followers in here hanging out. What's up, gang? All right, what we got here? They have sunshine one that's orange. See, okay. Let's take a second, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentle thems, whoever's in here. I love orange flavored shit. I am a little slut for orange flavored stuff. However, energy drinks, dudes, come on, get your shit together, figure it out. There's a very talk to the people of Fanta. Get that shit figured out. Get that dialed in, because I love orange flavored stuff, but any orange flavored energy drink kind of fucking sucks. Monster has one, and on the can it says dangerously creamy, which is fucking wild. Let's see, Robbie's your cousin. Yeah, I heard that. Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah, Raphael. What's up, dog? Energy drinks are bad for the ticker. Ticker means heart in this instance. This is true. So I don't make it a habit. If I am drinking an actual energy drink, it's during the work week. And it's about one a day. Purple flavored is Gorilla's favorite drink. What is up? What's poppin', Boots? All right, hold on. We got an official Coors count here. Drew Huntley, I think I'm on Coors 14. For those who are not aware of Drew Huntley, he is a wonderful gentleman from the state of California. And he loves him some Coors. And who else we got? Everyone loves Raphael. Yes, dude. I love Rafi. Meth Man. Hey, we're getting a lot of the Confederates in here. That is so cool. What is up, gang? For those just joining, we are in a chat gonna pop. That's chat is popping right now. And that is exactly what I'm just doing. I'm just fucking hanging. There's no agenda this week. You know, usually this is a very serious program. And we interview and do some fucking therapy. But it's like I said at the top of the hour. It's the holiday. It's the holiday season. And but I need to keep the algorithm gods happy. And I need to create the content. So I'm here hanging out with y'all. So cheers, everybody. Anyone who be drinking? I ain't drinking. I got my citrus drop. Cheers. Now back to the program. We are discussing me trying to find a replacement for the discontinued citrus flavored Ghost energy drinks. Let me see. I'm literally gonna do this every episode. All right, let us share screen. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. Okay. So let's look at Gorilla Mind. So this is the flavor right here. If it'll freaking load. Just a sidebar. This computer is diabolically slow and old and has every form of computer space aids that could ever exist. But we'll make it work. Gorilla Mind Citrus Rain. 12, almost $40 for a 12 pack on this. All right. No, I do not want 15% off your body shop. Thank you very goddamn much. Motherfucker, dude. All right. I just want to see. Look at this art, gang. Gorilla Mind Citrus Rain. I would dare say that this fell into, I would say 90% accuracy as far as flavor. However, it just, it's not the same, It's not like the old high school crush. We had our season in the sun last year. How many milligrams of caffeine, though? Dag nabbit, I closed the damn window. Hold on. Jarvis, please. All right, let me. I got to two-hand this bitch real quick. Hold on. How much caffeine in Gorilla? Okay, 200 millis of caffeine per can, which is the standard amount for high performance drinks combined with nootropics like alpha GPC and other things that Ian will not try to pronounce because he will sound absolutely stupid. For focus and energy without sugar or artificial colors, which also, not to sound like a total crunchy tread, whatever, but also trying to avoid a lot of the yellow, reds, everything that's, going to give us inevitable different cancers. 200 milli. Girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. That was such a that was such a dark behind the music, by the way. Milli Vanilli. Does anyone remember that? Am I gonna be that guy? Just like, you guys remember? You guys remember I Love the 90s? No, but the behind the music they did Milli Vanilli, and upon that rewatch as an adult, that shit is really depressing because, long story short, how the sausage is made sometimes in record companies, is they recognize what sells, and sometimes they'll have what is now called a industry plant, but they'll just have sort of like a manufactured artist. And Milli Vanilli was this pet project where they had these just kind of classical soul singers and these shredded hot dudes, these shredded hot German black guys, and created this band called Milli Vanilli. And watching that behind the music, you almost kind of root for him a little bit. And you're like, damn, and they get obviously busted with that live performance where the CD just fucking skipped, which is such a 90s problem. It's like, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's, girl, you know it's. And the one dude fucking killed himself. Why am I laughing at that? Like, damn, dude. Like, it's such a horrific, unfortunate reality. Many such cases. Because hold on. No, and like sorry. My phone is blowing up and you guys are all popping off here. My ADHD is going wild. But those behind the music's got real fucking dark because it was like a classic case. So like Milli Vanilli gets fucking busted, and then they just for the last half hour just have this run of like how shitty their lives are. Absolute madness. Yes, dude. It is crazy, but I am very thankful, very appreciative. Music industry can be a very dark place, figuratively and literally. Yes, it and that, my friends, is why. Also, yes, Mambo number 5 rules. Why I have this podcast, specifically because I want to have an honest conversation about the era of metalcore that I was a part of many a year ago, specifically the Christian kind, and which is kind of like double of not so great experiences, but also there are some pretty rad experiences. So hold on. There's a special little fella in this chat right now, and I need to pull him up right away. Where are you? There he is. This little goblin fella. All right, little goblin fella. Yes, Lubega is German. Much can be said about the Germans. But Mambo number 5 is a classic. Yes, Meth Man. The metalcore scene in the mid 2000s was legendary, absolutely. And that's and maybe and I back up because I don't want to speak for all local scenes, but from what I've gathered already, and just kind of from what I genuinely know, like every local scene in any state in America, maybe even overseas, these local hubs and would have these insanely good local metalcore bands, and I there are just hundreds who kind of fallen off as time has gone on because they grew up, graduated high school, and got actual jobs. But I really believe, were some of the sort of like building block people and bands that inspired a lot of the bigger, pieces of music that we have today. What is going on in this chat right now? We are talking about guano. Anytime anyone says that, I just think about Ace Ventura. What we got here? Yes, thank you, Drew. Metalcore, Solid Snake. Snake. I recently saw a meme on the interweb that was talking about video game characters who were autism coded, and both Solid Snake and Big Boss appeared on the same chart. And a friend of mine had posted the meme in our group chat, and they're like, "Oh, Solid Snake's on here twice. That's so funny." And it was like, and then my autism kicked in. And I was like, "Well, actually, Big Boss and Solid Snake are two different people. But Big Boss and I mean, Solid Snake is the clone of Big Boss." and just melted down. It was great. Here's a good question. Hell yeah. Yes, please, guys, ask me questions and give me content and things to talk about because I am not a professional by any means, and I am just riffing. Ian, how did you come across Dalton and the Carter Boys verse? So I'll start with that. How I met Dalton. So that's his. I'm trying to think now. It's been quite a few years. So I was familiar with Dalton and Robbie from the Loud Boys. And because I was a avid listener of the Legion of Skanks podcast, and them boys just sort of reminded me of a lot of the silly fellas that I went to high school with, and uh, I was a fan, and I'm still a fan of all of them today. But I did the what's his name, the Nardwar approach of how he gets all his information on all his guests. Is he just is not afraid to shoot a DM or ask the question. And I had been following Dalton for quite some time, and we had some correspondence here and there, just shooting the shit via messages, because we are very like-minded on a lot of things. And he went through his episode that I'm sure everybody who is a fan of Dalton is familiar with. And I was kind of at ground zero for that, and I'm sure a lot of you were. And a lot of those Twitter, I can't remember what they were even called. Those Twitter lives, and talked to him through that. And then when he kind of went back to Texas and sort of recovered, we kept in contact, and just sort of as like a token of like my appreciation for him as a person and his humor and what he brought to podcasting. I offered up like, hey man, anytime that you are healed up and you feel ready and you want to start podcasting again, I will write and record a podcast intro free of charge. It's yours. And just tell me what you want and we'll figure it out. And obviously he took quite some time, but he eventually did reach out again. He was like, hey man, I'm starting something. This is when he was really starting Corn-Fed. Hell yeah. Meth Man, bro, Ian, the intro was so fucking sick. I really got to give credit to a couple people over that. One, Dalton, it was Dalton's vision, because I was 100% obviously wanting to cater to kind of what he wanted. And he was like, can you give me a grimy Western Tom Waits sort of vibe? And if anyone is familiar with my band Holy Coast, that knows that's not my normal singing register, but I also love Tom Waits. And so I was like, you know what? Just gonna give it a rip. So I funny story, and I think I've probably said this a million times because I've obviously been on Corn-Fed a little bit. I made just like a shitty demo. A shitty demo on GarageBand on my phone in my bedroom, and I sent it to him, and he loved it, and he accidentally used it as the main file for a while. Because I actually, the second person I wanted to shout out, who was on episode 2, full circle this, Marco, he recorded the professional version of the intro. So that is that as far as how I snuck my way into the Dalton verse and the Robbie verse. There was a couple other questions here. Hold on. Let me see. Y'all are just even Joe Gorman. Listen, man. Someone once told me that I look like Joe Gorman if he was 8 feet tall. So um he he's I think he's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. Okay. All right, Ian, can you explain the difference between metalcore and deathcore to me? Oh man, you guys really are making my fucking autism come out. All right. So, uh, the difference between let's talk about the origins of metalcore, um, which stems back to the early '90s with the band At the Gates, where in the late '80s, well, actually in kind of the early '80s, and really popped off in the late '80s, just hardcore came out of punk music. Hardcore started happening, and at the same time, you had bands like Slayer or like thrash, and then you had bands like Death, who were just straight up death metal. Or shout out fucking Skinless. So there was these, and you'll notice through the history of all music and all time, as bands come around and new genres happen, what genres are is just mishmashes and stuffing different genres into Cuisinart and just making a new thing. And so metalcore is the combination of like heavy metal, like guitars, and I call them guitarmonies. A lot of like melody via guitar, but also super heavy riffs and the vocals. With core, with sort of like the hardcore. Man, anytime I say hardcore, sometimes I want to go hardcore, like from New York. But like, and that's where like they put in breakdowns and stuff like that. Now, where deathcore comes in is they are a little bit more on the side of. Hold on one second. This computer started spazzing out. Deathcore is like if metalcore is having like the kind of more like atypical metal guitar, um, with hardcore music, deathcore is like the more deep guttural, like just tremmy, ugly parts of death metal, and then the beat down hardcore parts of hardcore. But hell yeah, let's keep scrolling on through here. Woo! I love any core. Honestly, okay. Bass. This is ladies and gentlemen, this is the bass to take here. Um because was there a time when I was a little bit of a fucking prissy bitch and kind of Mr. Cool guy with my music taste? Absolutely, but honestly, there most cores I fuck with. Um uh post-hardcore, metalcore, a little bit of deathcore, um, quite a bit of grindcore. Uh, Decapitated is Polish death metal. Let's talk about Florida and how they're that state alone, which obviously in all logical sense, it makes sense that the most insane fucking death metal bands came out of that insane fucking state. But metalcore, uh, for me, metalcore is more of my home because that's just sort of like my age group of like late 30s. Because again, the basis of this podcast and why we're on this channel, my typical content is sort of the historical retrospective of those early 2000s. And even into the mid and late 2000s. Just that entire decade had so many of these seminal metalcore bands that were inspired by all these different metal and hardcore bands of the 90s. And then they created these bands that we were huge fans of, and then we started these bands, and then it kind of reminds me of that. I cannot remember it for the life of me. That show that was on, I think it was on Fuse, or it was on Headbangers or MTV maybe. But it was that like super like death metal looking dude who was like this researcher, and he's like like a metal scientist, and he would like do these historical retrospectives on just how of just metal and all the subgenres, and he had this like giant web of all how all these different genres interconnect. And as that series went on, uh yes, Raphael, the blonde guy, um which also, side note here, just gonna shout this out, Death Cab for Cutie. I think that's another thing that I have an appeal with a lot of like post hardcore and like um kind of the more mid 2000s versions of metalcore, was a lot of this little emo influence, because we were also fans of bands like Death Cab for Cutie. And I don't know, man, I love music, so cool. We got here Sebastian Bach. No, but that whenever I hear about whenever I hear the name Sebastian Bach, one, I remember how much of a cock he is, and then two, um, again, going to these old VH1 shows when they had that super group that super group show. I think it was literally called Supergroup, and the supergroup, for those who are not in the know, was Sebastian Bach on vocals. Hold on here. Oh God, that sucks. Oh, just you wait. Hear me out on this one. So the singer was Sebastian Bach. On guitar, on lead guitar, was Ted fucking Nugent. And then on the rhythm guitar was Scott Ian from Anthrax. On drums was John Bonham's son, Jason Bonham. And on bass was Evan from fucking Biohazard, who was like an OG New York hardcore band. Please tell me how any of this made sense. And I mean, in hindsight, with how insane life is now, um, I just don't understand. All right, you got to be. Hold on, y'all are so popping off, and I appreciate it. Meth Man is such a positive guy. I love that. Honestly, dude, that it's appreciated, because I tend to be quite a bit of a negative Nancy cynic a lot. So having any crumb of positivity is fucking huge. What else we got here, gang? Damn, Jason, what the hell? Yeah, I mean that I don't know whomst whomst was in that writer's room and was like, guys, hold on. I had a revelation last night. Hear me out. No. Hear me out. Hear me out. Let's have Youth Gone Wild, Sebastian Bach. Let's have Stranglehold. No, well-known pedophile Ted Nugent on lead guitar. The bald guy from Anthrax. The fucking singer, bass player / porn star from Biohazard, and then oh yeah, John Bonham's fucking kid. Figure it out, guys. Oh god. His dad would not approve. I mean, absolutely, you're right on that. What else we got here, gang? Excuse me, I'm burpy now. Oh god. Good content. I saw Anthrax live in 2004. The Pound, which also a badass name. They freaking ruled. And Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Boys. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Yeah. I wrote that. You like that? I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And in the parentheses, it says to the break of dawn. He was definitely my favorite character on that show. Hoomsville. Dude, that was such a I hate that I'm about to say this. That was such an our generation show. That was ours. But like that was such a fucking peak time in television for our generation specifically. Ian has this cool impression he does on I forgot the guy. I do an impression of. Hold on. Who do I do an impression of? I do sometimes I do a Shaq, especially with Robbie because he's a little bit of a basketball head. He's a little bit of he likes to talk ball. So listen to hey man, hey. Sometimes I just want to talk like Shaq. What we got here? Carl's great. Thank you all for hanging out, guys. This has been genuinely a pleasant surprise and genuinely fun. I do a few impersonations. That is an autism. Also, I have a knack for impersonations, but also there was a brief time on man, I might have been 16 or 17 where my car radio didn't work at all. And I was like seeing someone down in Columbus, which is a 2.5 hour drive from here. And so I'd have these long drives, like every time I would go down there with no music or anything. So I would literally entertain myself by trying to practice impersonations. What are your thoughts on the classic punk era, Ian? Like late 70s, early 80s. All right, so I have a pretty hot take on this. It's not a very popular one. So a lot of those bands, we're talking like Germs and fucking Circle Jerks, and I mean even earlier like Sex Pistols and Ramones and stuff like that. Are they important to the genre? Yes. Were they important in shaking up and forming the genre? Absolutely. However, when you listen back to those recordings, they're fucking terrible. Like every guitar is out of tune, the quality is bad, and more times than not, the actual performances not good. Like I'll use the band the Misfits for example. I love the Misfits for the vibe. But and God bless Danzig, that manlet. God love him. New Jersey Guinea. Danzig era Misfits, outside of the cuts, the absolute fucking cuts, were bad at their instruments. Like Doyle is still not a good guitar player. And any of those leads that you hear on those albums was never Doyle because he can't play them. Also, this is a very based take. Bad Brains, far better than Misfits. Bad Brains are an example of people who are really good at their instruments. Dr. No fucking rips on guitar. You're supposed to stop listening to the Misfits when you turn 14. No, but here's where I was getting at with that. Is musically, I love the Michael Graves era Misfits better because the recordings were like cleaner. They were kind of just more honest to their like capabilities musically, and Michael Graves, a future Proud Boy, unfortunately. He had a pretty little singing voice. This is actually a pretty good way of putting that out there. It's like black metal level of talent. I would not say level of talent because I think there's some black metal bands who are like, especially their drummers, are like insanely good. But the quality is the same. Like, yes, let's get this rusty fucking microphone and throw it into an ice cave and record you through the shittiest possible crate amp possible. And that's the quality. And again, are they important? Yes. Are a lot of those bands legendary? Yes. And have seminal, great records? Sure. But if I'm being honest, when you listen back to it, it does not age particularly well. As far as like aesthetically pleasing to the ears, sort of thing. But a little like when more towards the mid 80s, late 80s, early 90s versions of punk, when things got a little bit more refined and bands like Rancid are coming out and you have Matt Freeman just absolutely fucking shredding on bass, which side note, when I started playing music, I was a punk. That was the genre I started with, was punk. And Matt Freeman was one of the few bass players at the time where I wanted to play bass. But like Bad Religion, for example, like they technically started in the late 70s, but their progression and their songwriting just got so good, and their like vocal harmonies were super good. This is funny. I feel like I'm cheating on Dalton. Even soothing voice giving me bedtime story vibes. Not the first time I've heard this about this podcast, and I appreciate that because I'm a little self-conscious about that kind of stuff. And especially since I'm not normally a podcaster and I'm really kind of new to this sort of thing. But I think it was even, I think Robbie Goodwin a few times has said that I have a soothing podcasting voice. I believe he called it gay SMR. Okay, hold on. Time out. We're moving on here. Tub thumping. The band Chumbawamba. Let's take a second here and let's talk about Chumbawamba. How incredible of a fucking band Chumbawamba is. For those not in the know of the history of the band Chumbawamba, most and or primarily known for their hit Tub Thumping. I get knocked down, body up again. That one. They were a anarcho punk band from, I believe, Ireland. I think they were Irish. One of them fancy European countries. Famous song during the World Cup. Wait, that song is not Smash Mouth. No, Smash Mouth are from California, and they are the Shrek band. Shout out Shrek and Shrek 2. Hold on one second. Where was they at? Chumbawamba. They were an anarcho punk band they got some steam, and they came up with this band, this concept where they're gonna go. We're gonna write the cheesiest club banger song. It's got not gonna mean anything, and it's gonna be we're gonna make that the single. But then everything else on the record is going to be very, very political. um, which I unironically love that album. It's a very, very, very good record. A lot of catchy hits, but also very just well done. And I'm a little bit of a fan of a trumpet. Hold on. What's the brass tacks about shoegaze? Like, is this asking to uh, break down the genre of what shoegaze is? The My Bloody Valentine's tour driver shit, which I love. I love shoegaze, and if you listen to my band Holy Coast, um, we definitely got a little bit of some shoegaze influence. No, there's yes, Raphael. There's no brass in shoegaze unless. So you want to? What's your opinion on the genre? I love it because I am a big fan of soundscape stuff. So anytime somebody can just make the guitar sound huge and put all the reverb on drums, and the guitar leads are like these like melancholy guitar leads, super reverbed out. Um, that's I don't know. It scratches an itch in my brain, and it makes sense. Um, so it always just sounds so epic. Um, I would highly suggest anyone who is interested in diving into some of the more shoegazy, riffier side of shoegaze. I would check out not only the band Hum, but the latest album that they came out with before. Unfortunately, their drummer passed away a couple years ago, but they came out. I think this was like in 2021, 2022. They came out with a record called Inlet, which what a comeback record. They're so good. What we got here? Hold on. I'm gonna get that. There you go. I love all the feedback and effects, and I just really enjoy hurting my ears. I mean, all right, let's be completely honest, gang. I have severe tinnitus. I was not a wise boy, and I definitely did not wear earplugs um, when I was supposed to. And I've been playing live music since I was 13. Um, so uh, that's my bad. Bad call on me. I keep almost like doing like Robert De Niro. Me. But you know, Robbie's the impression guy. Go on. But put in my some earplugs. Put in my ear, huh? Oh, my. I thought. I'm sorry. I thought I answered this. I'm drinking Big K, which is the Kroger brand. Zero sugar citrus drop, and it is okay. Bad feeling, man. That shit's rough. It's rough, but you manage. And I'm definitely one of those people that's like uh fallen prey to like those YouTube videos for like those 9-hour white noise things where it's like treat your tinnitus, and I'll like put it in my headphones and I'll be like, please fix this. And it kind of works sometimes. Um yes, though, let us please acknowledge this comment here. Supermarket brands definitely underrated. Big K especially. Big K gets some hate, but I would dare say the Big K um Orange is really good. The Big K, cream soda is where I was thinking of, the cream soda. Oh, here. Okay, Drew. Ian, do you study Magic? Magic the Gathering? Am I out of mana? Am I unk chopped? Chat. Now, do I study Magic? So, me personally, no. However, those privy to my origin story know that my dad was very into. Oh, well, before I dive into the esoteric stuff my dad was into, um, I think he's talking about your Christian faith. Oh, well, uh, not not totally anymore. Are you saying magic isn't real? I wouldn't say that. I think where I'm at nowadays is I'm at least to a point where I can acknowledge shit is weird and unexplainable, and sometimes you just kind of go, okay, I don't know what that is. Um, but as far as different magics, my dad was definitely really into a lot of like Sophic mysticism, a lot of really weird shit. So that was my childhood. Oh, here's a fun little callback. Ian's dad was X Files. We learned this on the shout out Troy. Uh, I would love to have Troy pop in here. I think he's a busy boy. He's also on the West Coast time zone. My child tried doing a really cool thing and tried providing me with Fanta and knocked over my Big K and spilled it. So you're good, dude. I'm not gonna. Okay, so my kid is obsessed with the Charlie Kirk. We are Charlie Kirk. That song. She she really wants me to play that, but I don't have that current functionality on this computer at the moment. Um, does Troy not stream anymore? I don't know. I do know that. Uh, wait, hold on. Time out. Yes, Charlie Kirk followers are fucking scary, and that is an absolute fucking insane. In reality, if we're being real, that shit's fucking crazy. But the what now is there was this really insane AI song, um, that is hilarious, and it's turned into a meme. And if anybody does take that thing seriously, I don't. I don't even know anymore. But we are in times where nothing is a surprise. And but yes, as Meth Man is saying, I know Troy's busy, has a day job, but also Troy has been working like an absolute animal, screenwriting. He's really, really, really working on. Hold on a second. Yes, child. Dude, we already talked about it. My child, the artist, said, "We are Charlie Kirk. Please don't screen grab that." I do not. I do not. I do not want to be affiliated, but that is really funny, Margot. Thank you. I know. Can you chill out? Go get it. All right. Anyway, sorry. Come on, Ham. Go get the damn thing. All right. Let's watch. There we go. Good job. Okay. All right. Go chill. We are so live right now. That would make a great thumbnail. Oh man. Oh, here's a good. Thank you. Fun fact: Nick Ryder had a chunk of Art Bell's Area 51 wreckage. If we were talking about the different pieces of material, that probably should not have um, uh, exist or be in legal possession. My dad might have been in possession of it. Like after he passed away, and we were going through his just his storage units and stuff like that, we found like heavy water. So that was pretty insane. Hold on. Let's please take a time out again and shout out God, I love Art Bell. So my dad was on the Coast to Coast program back in 2006. We were a household that was brought up on not only Art Bell, but just kind of those fringe paranormal UFO that world. That was very much my childhood. What? Yes. There's I got a lot of lore, gang. There's a lot of lore, a lot of crazy lore. But for those not in the know, I definitely had. Thank honestly, this comment right here just sort of sums everything up. Little Goblin, his dad was X-Files, man. I'm telling you. So yeah, that was so side note, since I actually have people in here, if but I might as well plug the channel that this whole thing is. This is obviously not the typical thing that I do. This podcast is kind of centric on kind of like the ins and outs of the Christian metalcore world of the 2000s and kind of like revisiting not only historically that things that happened, but also me nearing 40 and trying to rectify with feelings. But I'm trying to get subscribers, trying to be able to turn this into a thing. Currently do not have enough followership to get things like super chats. So if anybody would like to help me out, if anyone would like to make a donation here to keep the lights on, pay for my hold on, let's keep that up for how can I do that? All right, well, looks like we go into it for a little bit, but $ Holy Coast or Venmo at Holy Coast. If you want to shoot me a donation, help me out. It costs me $44 a month to have the StreamYard. So if I can pull that a month, I'll be breaking even on doing this venture. You're doing more than Craig since he left. Oh, hey. If David Duchovny met Gordon Freeman from Half-Life, I think that'd be a pretty good. That's kind of the whole vibe. Also, shout out this. I sub to. It's very unlikely I will listen to the metalcore focused episodes, but I subscribe. Here's what I'll tell you. It's not just talking music. It's not talking about the genre that you don't know. I think that we would have something of value, and just this sort of crazy storytelling that we do, and a lot. There's some silly moments too. So I would endorse giving a rip. It's not all just talk about the musics and the breakdowns and all the stuff. Hold on. There's a POD question here, guys, from Robbie Sir Cousin. Is POD metalcore? No, POD or like Christian new metal is what I would think. One day it'll make a great Santa. Oh, thank you, Drew. That's very kind. Same. I'm not into the rock music or these chord genres, and that is honestly probably the more based take. But and if I'm keeping it an absolute buck, I really don't listen to heavy music much anymore, outside of like just revisits of nostalgic bands. I'm I think I even mentioned this on my actual solo episode that I did a couple weeks ago, where I am genuinely really, really bad at listening to new music, especially new metalcore, because it's just not my vibe. It's too clean. I was talking earlier about how like the early punk music just sounds like shit. Um, but if it's too polished, I also do not like it. I need a perfect medium, kind of in the middle of just like give me a little raw, give me some show me that it's like made by a person, but also clean it up a little bit. This isn't very nice. Raphael is allergic to fun. That is not true. I've seen him be very fun, but I don't respect speed metal. Also, not my vibe. I also think is I'm just too my essence is too slow for speed metal. I'm like, guys, pump brakes a little bit. Where's the breakdowns, guys? Show me, chug a little bit, please. Be professional is all you're asking. Yeah. That's really all I'm asking. You can, some of my favorite moments I've ever had in a recording studio, and not even like a like super crazy good quality recording studio. Um, but any studio that I've ever been in, some of my favorite moments were recording some of the more not perfect parts, like doing a guitar take where I'm in the live room in front of the actual physical amp and just being noisy and getting that perfect feedback and just really bending with the room. Like I, this is where my autism really fires off. I love that stuff. Um, but also I don't like just shit that sounds too perfect, especially the drums. If the drums sound like a robot, get out of here with that stuff. I mean, if you like that, love that for you. Great. Um, just not my vibe. Does Holy Coast have any international fans? Um, let's pull up. Um, uh, let's pull up the Spotify artists. The Spotify artists uh info, because I'm gonna be honest, gang. Stats have not been good lately. Granted, we've been pretty dormant for the winter season. We're gonna be releasing some stuff coming here in the next couple months. Um, some physicals of the new record. We're gonna be doing a cassette release, and we got some cool stuff kind of in around with the cassette release. So we'll be back to being a little bit more popping, but as it stands right now, stats not looking great, gang. But our playlist ads are up by 300%, so that is very fun. But to answer the question at large, do we have any uh, international fans? Let's take a gander. Well, as it stands right now, it doesn't look like it. Let's just do all time. Let's do the last year. Yeah, not looking great. Well, there was a time when I think we had a couple European like listeners. That's okay. I don't create music to uh be Mr. Cool Guy. But I create, but it would be cool to be able to share songs a bit more internationally. That would be really fun. So please, again, if anybody wants to check out my band, stream it, listen to the album. It's pretty cool, even if you don't like that kind of thing. And if you don't want to listen to my music but still want to support me, I'm gonna do this one more time. Is that band Holy Coast? Yeah, there's my Cash App. There's my Venmo. If you want to send a couple bucks that way to help keep the lights on and support what I'm doing, because I want to do more creative stuff outside of my day job. So the more I can actually make this a thing, that'd be pretty super cool. What's this? I'm not good at genres of music. I'm something of a caveman. I listen to whatever sounds good to my ear. I'm kind of the same way. Um, and that's another reason why someone just yelled outside. Sorry. ADHD. Oh, how do you not? This is a thing. I couldn't Venmo you because I didn't know the 4 digits of your phone number. You gotta have my phone number to Venmo me. That's crazy. Well, unless it's something I gotta change in my settings or something like that. Whoopsie doodle. But going back to Lil Goblin Fella saying I'm more of like a caveman. I listen to whatever sounds good to my ear. I'm kind of the same way, and that's why I also have a hard time ingesting new bands. Because I'm not very specific with it, and it's hard for me to kind of remember. Like, oh, I like that. That's kind of like what I like at this point. It's a security thing for sure. Well, I'm gonna figure that out right now. Let's do this live on air. This is good content. Hi, this is troubleshooting Venmo with your boy. Let's go to my settings. How can I accept money from strangers? Do I have to make it a business profile? Is that the problem here? Privacy. It's public. No. I'm looking here and it's looking like I think it's because it's a personal account. Oh, nar. That's silly. Let's look here. Really good content, guys. I'm sorry. Let's look at my account. Verified profile, save. I don't know. But any poop. Where are we at here? You guys are cracking me up. I was trying to see your information. Don't fall for it. It's a security thing for sure. Come on, man. No, I appreciate the effort. I genuinely don't know what Venmo's deal is. I think it's because I have a personal account and not a business. So I think that's why I might need to change. But good, hey guys, we're learning. Hey, we're in this together. The what rage is on. What? What? Huh? That's me as hell. The war rage is on. Also the what? Oh, is that a fucking hold on? I'm easily at 20 something cores now. Oh, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, cores count. Easily at 20 something cores right now. Easily. Also, this is the number one rule. I'm sure our base in here, the Confederates. Please don't be mean to me. And at some point, I will have to pay Dalton some kind of copyright uh, because I have busted that on stage a few times the past couple shows I played. Not that people were being mean to me, but just as a preface, um, for some of the songs I would introduce, I'd be like, and if you don't like it, please follow the golden rule. Please don't be mean to me. And boy, has it worked every time. Um, Listen, it's killed it in the room. Okay, does that make me Carlos Mencia? Am I unk chopped chat? Is that what's happening here? Nobody ignores the number one rule more than incentives. What's that? I don't know your internet speak, Raphael. You ever heard of Negro Gobble? Yes, I have. Not my bread and butter, but the gimmick is really funny, and it's I don't know, based on your name, seems like something you'd be pretty into. Little goblin fellow likes the little goblin fellow and Negro Goblicon. Which I find it really funny that there was. I know the guy who's actually created the character, the Goblin guy, and Necro Goblicon is an actual comedian. Um, oh, now he's like, okay, thank you. All right, I didn't want to say it and make fun of your goblin friends. Okay, not my bag. But there was somebody mentioned that they thought the guy who was in the goblin costume was Ian Fidance. So I always found that funny. I'm about to use it. What are you getting into tonight? Yeah. From what I've heard, that line does work. So yes, please use it. It's like gore, but they're goblins. Actually, not quite. The goblin in Necrogoblicon is like a mascot, more of like an more involved Eddie from Iron Maiden, but he actually like does like backup vocals and sings some songs live. But it's an actual just metal band, and the content of their music is very fantasy driven. Just the lead. But speaking of Gore, shout out Gore. Yeah, he's not there the entire time, especially like the earlier stuff. Yeah, dude, I'm talking out of my ass. What are your thoughts on classic 80s thrash shit? Um, I got to be in the mood, but growing up, I definitely was a bit more into it. Um, I love Iron Maiden. Um, but as far as like thrash metal, like obviously I love the early Metallica records. I have a golden rule. It's the first three are the only Metallica records for me. I used to say that when I was a Mr. Cool guy, but now I will openly admit that Load and Reload fucking rip. And I don't fucking care what anyone thinks about it. Um, who else you got here? No, but I fuck with Guar. I've seen Guar a couple times. I've gotten Guared on at least 3 times of like the 5 times I've seen them, or being close enough that I got sprayed. Yeah, it's always fun. All Metallica is solid to me. There was a rough patch there for sure, but past couple records have been kind of cool. But I am forever and always very much on the platform of should have been Lars, not Cliff. Metallica probably would have fared way better to have a way better drummer, way more talented drummer than Lars. Yes, I know there's a lot of the metal cool guys who are like, he was so him, man. He's just him, and they really made it to the sound. if you listen to how that dude plays drums now, it's like, guys, guys, maybe it's time to hang it up on the drums, Lars. I don't know. You see that Lars is in the pocket. He's been not in the pocket, brother. I've seen some quite a few live clips on recent years where he is not in the pocket and actually off time. He's stuck up for the band more than anyone. Sure, but we're not grading Lars on his ability to fucking be a bulldog for his band. I am if we are measuring Lars as a drummer. If I could have Cliff Burton on bass versus Lars Ulrich on drums, what are we talking about? Oh, also, thank you again for asking questions. I do appreciate that. What's your dream place to go and live? I've been around a little bit. There's a lot of cool places I've seen. A lot of not so cool places I've seen. But if I were to live, my ideal place to go slash live would definitely be Nova Scotia in Canada. Very beautiful place, very quiet. Um, even though, yeah, I have been gabbing for almost an hour and a half. I'm actually very quiet and very, very reserved, a little introverted. So like the solitude of Nova Scotia is very rad. I also last time I was in Nova Scotia, which is a long time ago, I witnessed a man playing bagpipes, and he played Black Sabbath on his bagpipes, and I was like, Nova Scotia is really cool, actually. It's kind of the coolest place ever, and they're very nice. And I realized, yes, right here. I realize the older I get, the more I want to live off the grid. Now, that isn't to say that I'm a little prissy bitch sometimes. I do like my creature comforts. I like being able to uh, peek my head out and, do some exploring and go to a China buffet here. you know, go to the city. Um, but no, if more times than not, I'm a very rural guy. I love being out in the country and hiding. Is it magnets? How do they work? It was so fun to do acid there. Did you? Oh, you lived in Palm Desert for a couple years, dude. That sounds. I will never be. I've never tried acid. However, mushrooms seem and have always kind of jived with me a lot more. More my speed, but acid in the desert just sounds like a canon event that I love that for you. One second here. I'm being a dad right now. Sorry. We'll post it on the Discord. I forgot. I'm also on the Discord, guys. I'm just never on Discord. I gotta pop in a little bit more. I gotta say some things. Especially if y'all be posting. Y'all be posting. I love posts. I love content. Hold on. That is renovate. Oh, hold on. I gotta pop this up here. It's funny you mentioned that. I watch a channel of a couple in Nova Scotia that is renovating an old house on an island, and it's very relaxing, dude. Little guys, if you want some sleepy time ASMR, put my voice in your ears, and also look at scenery and landscapes of Nova Scotia and anything that sounds like an incredible show. I would actually love watching it. Um, love that shit. I'm a wild child though. Not a lot of people can stomach psychedelics. I get that. I'm also like, I don't know if you guys were in here earlier when I went on my whole tirade about being a semi-former uh, hypochondriac. Uh, but like the idea of acid and how what it does to your brain, and like just the horror stories of having to get a spinal tap. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner. Just doesn't sound pretty cash money. And honestly, I probably would do nothing, and I'd probably have a good time. But I kind of had like I want to say like a almost OCD like fixation on just sort of like, if I'm going to do any kind of psychedelic, I want it to be like natural. So that's why I only ever done shrooms, and big fan of shrooms. Acid is cleaner than mushrooms of real acid. Hold on, time out. Hold on, guys. Meth Man, tell Ian about your goth band Cinderella. I unabashedly, unironically, I love goth rock. One of my favorite bands of all time is Typo Negative. I love Typo Negative. I also love like I'm really doing this on the timeline right now, but I band him. Love him. I love him. His Infernal Majesty. Oh, he's joking. Damn, dude. I love goth music, but like, who isn't a fan of Peter Steele's penis? That thing. That thing was thanging. I got to see Typo Negative a long way ago. A couple years before Uncle Pete passed. But I'm a large lad. I'm a big boy. I'm 6'4", and seeing him in person, and he was 6'8", was like, wow, I'm a baby. I'm actually just a silly little guy. At the end of the day, he was an absolute unit. I can't imagine what that hog looked like IRL. Because in pictures it looked obviously huge, but God bless Peter Steele. I love that band so much. He was huge, and they remain in my top 3 Spotify listens. Him from him? No, like him from Powerpuff Girls. Villavallo. There's so just if you want to hear a fucking banger ass riff, fucking listen to For You by the band Him. That riff fucking slams. I don't know. I think I just played the fucking riff to Freak by Silverchair, but who cares? But let this not go unappreciated. Peter and Kenny are so fucking funny, and Josh too. That was, obviously one of the things I really loved about that band, because obviously Pete wrote from both a very sarcastic and Brooklyn sarcasm. What the fuck are you talking about? Sort of sense of humor, but also is very introspective and sensitive. I'm pretty vulnerable for a giant, fucking man. But they were genuinely so funny. Those like, if I'm ever in a funk, I ever want to pull up those compilations of just them going silly in interviews. Like, I fucking love it. Bill, you know what? So here's we're gonna have a we're gonna have an honest moment right now. I'm not gonna pretend that I've always loved the band Him. During this era when Bam Margera down if we're gonna beat Phil. Back in that era, I was like, this is stupid. This is for girls. Bill follows for girls. But I was secretly going, I love this so fucking much, actually. The funeral parts fucking makes me cry, dude. Him was fun live. If Mr. Valo was not hammered, which he was a lot early on, but I've seen a lot of his recent shows of his solo stuff, and he's in the rarest form ever, and he sounds great. Yes, highly recommend this. Watch Peter Steele type of negative videos all the time. Just the humor is incredible. If I can hold on, let's struggle with technology again. I'm gonna pull up some Peter Steele compilations here. We'll do a live reaction. How's that sound, everybody? Hold on. I think I've mentioned before that this computer is poopy butt. All right, let's type it in here. Peter Steele moments. Okay. Let's figure this out, because the past couple times I've tried to do this, I for some fucking reason could not get sound to work. Share tab audio. Yes, please. I think this will work. Okay. Let's watch this together.
My name is Peter Steele, and I do nothing. I am a kind, wonderful human being. Sees the value in all life, lover of all living things. Typical Christian, hypocristian.
Oh, all right. Hold on. This is where my computer's gonna be poopy. All right, here we go. Oh, now we're buffering. No, dude. Full screen it. Hold on. I think the computer might be a little too poopy, Jane. We're in full screen here. Well, we can talk for a second. But yes, we have the Peter Steele station. Once the computer fucking starts working, and this is exactly why you should donate to my Cash App, so I can get good equipment. So I don't have to have these excuse me, embarrassing moments. But let's appreciate this too. Stickers are so good, guys. I haven't had one of those in a hot while, many a year, but I miss them every day, especially when you're drunk. Let's see where we're at as far as the video goes. Can you play? Oh, we're gonna be a wiener. Okay, let's try and refresh.
My name is Peter Steele, and I do nothing. I am a kind, wonderful human being. Sees the value in all life, lover of all living things. Typical Christian, hypocristian.
Full screen, please. All right. Doesn't want a full screen for me, I guess. But that's them playing with Pantera.
Go like this. Let's go. Who the hell knows? You're supposed to. Can we just begin? Hey, scream when you're ready. He's got those headphones on again. Talking to his wife. This is probably the perfect location, as you see here, for me to build my dream house like a Frank Lloyd Wright type of falling water
My name
house.
is Peter Steele.
Like this, but a lot more glass.
I want to have sex with a woman out in the woods right now.
I have the woods to one side and water to the other, the sky above.
My big vampire penis.
Outside, and I could enjoy nature in all the seasons. So perhaps take a few trees down here, and very few trees. Build a nice little house for my woman, and worship her the rest of my life.
So I love seeing stuff like this because like tour pranks were always so fun. Dude, I totally have a man crush on Pete Steele. I ain't got front. Why won't you do full screen? That's crazy. Well, oh, there we go.
This is what you're
It's a little better.
light, by the way. It was fantastic. It was asphalt and accents.
Those fucking teeth, man. Oh, here's a good video.
Hello.
On my throne, man. Great thing about touring is that I learned this shit everywhere. Shit on the dime. Fuck out of here. Oh. Oh.
One more time.
Yeah, my internet definitely sucks. Shout out Spectrum, ruining my life. I got Sal level Wi-Fi.
Just sitting here right now because I feel like a cute. You know what I mean? What the fuck do you think? I should roses?
A little bit of wiener.
Actually, everybody thinks you do.
Let's get down to the bar. Hello. And fold it into your anus.
Well, based on my research, and my research was a GeoCities website called The Long Short of It, where groupies would review Band Dude members. Supposedly Pete was 10 inches. So
This is your higher power. You at a AAA meeting, Kenny. Do not drink and drive. Don't drink or drive or drink. Or drive. Or drink forever. Don't drink. 10:30, we have a Jew down. 10:30, we have a Jew. He's very hard. He's going to sue. He's going to sue.
dude, this makes me miss tour. Just a little silly boy shenanigans.
His eyeballs are gonna pop out. Please, my Alexander. Will you stop fucking me? Yeah. My friend wished I could be told to you.
This is priceless material.
Ralph Sutton actually interviewed Pete a long time ago, and they used to be from around the same area in Staten Island.
It's the Tourette's half hour with pizza.
It's the Tourette's half hour with Pete Steele. Oh yeah, she's a
So this is definitely exemplifies a lot of the homoerotica that happened on tour.
It was KFC or LAX. It was planned. It was conspiracy. It was clear. It was a conspiracy. The drumsticks and the breasts. Wait, now you shots. Listen,
Is that the freaking chipper?
They fucking took the meat off the bones and they put the skin on to make it look like. I'm like, you know, when you're ready, you can't wait. Like
He's getting almost. It was 3 years ago.
Pete Steele should still be alive.
To the airport. They get you, Peter. Yeah. How would I like to die? I don't know. It wouldn't really matter so long as I felt I made a difference in the world.
Well, here's a great video. Here's a way to end it. This is for Drew. Yes. Okay. But yes, Dave Brocky. Also, rest in peace, Dave Brocky. But they're both absolutely fucking goofy, silly boys. Well, dang, gang, we've gone almost 2 hours, and I was only planning like an hour. So I really appreciate y'all hanging out. I'm probably gonna do this only for a little bit longer because I am old and I am not privy to doing like the corn-fed 5-hour sessions. I've done them 1 or 2 of them, and those Saturday episodes, those are fucking brutal. Yeah, this is a really fun hang, gang. Really appreciate y'all. Just going to plug this. Yeah, phone help me out. Even though apparently you need my phone number for Venmo, so I got to get that figured out. So if you got Cash App, throw me a couple bucks because StreamYard just came out of my checking account, and $44 is a lot of money. So if you could throw your boy a bone, that would be so sick. Also, if anybody, I don't have anything queued up right now, so I will just, if you know of me and of the podcast I've been on, I'm in a band. Great time. Hey, I'll throw a bone. Why am I freaking? Yeah, you missed me. Sorry, Daisuke. But would you guys be cool with me doing this more on a regular basis? Like do like on an alternate week or something like that. Just doing these hangs, fucking talking shit with the boys. Because I'm definitely down to make this more of a regular thing. What was the Cash App? Hold up, gang. Let's pull that on up. Yeah, if you would like to help me pay the $44 I just lost tonight. Right here. $sign Holy Coast, like my band Holy Coast. Also, if you want to subscribe to this channel, if you want to listen to Holy Coast on all the streaming platforms, that would be also another great way to help support your boy. Because I'm really trying to grow this channel, and really trying to do creative shit. I want to be able to afford more time to make music and record podcasts and do silly little fun things with you guys. So hell yeah. Well, that being said, I think we're gonna stanza this, ladies and germs. Probably all dudes. But appreciate you all. I will definitely try and keep this into rotation, so stay subscribed. Anytime I'm going to do a stream like this, I'll post about it on my socials. At Gothmosis Jones on Twitter, if you don't follow me already. I'm also at Ian Reiter, REITER on Instagram. Also at Holy Coast Band on Instagram. But yeah, you guys all fucking rule, and I will talk to you all soon. And if you are ever interested, no, dude, I went through high school. I ain't falling for this shit anymore, Drew. Or Drew, Dice K. But yeah, hell yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Dice K. You should have been here a little earlier. But I'll definitely do this more. But if you guys are interested in more of the regular content, of just sharing stories and kind of doing some deep dives on my history and my old band dude days, that is what this channel is regularly for. We do it every week. Whoa, look who's a meanie. Yeah, Daisuke, I know you weren't here for this, but we also followed the golden rule here. Please do not be mean to me. I will cry. I am a big old baby. But hell yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all, and I'll keep y'all posted when I'm doing this shit again, and I'll definitely be posting about our next guest coming up in the coming weeks. Thank you. Bye.